Hello, my name is Lydia O'Brien, and today I'll be making lentil soup or sharbat adas. Lentil soup is a traditional Middle Eastern dish, but in this rendition it's derived from Palestinian roots, and I use the recipe published in the Kitchen of Palestine. While making the recipe, I will describe the history, importance, and connections that many traditional ingredients have to Palestine and the Middle Eastern world. The ingredients for this dish include olive oil, 1 onion, red lentils, vegetable stock, salt, cumin, turmeric, lemon, and parsley for garnish. Lentil soup is a very important dish during Ramadan. Although a traditionally consumed dish in the winter, it is also enjoyed during summer when Ramadan falls in that period. In Ramadan, lentil soup is to be served almost every day for a whole month on iftar, which is when you break the fast. To begin, I am chopping a white onion and finely dicing it. I want to get about a cup of finely diced onions. In ancient Islamic history, onions carry the promise of a cure to disease and were recommended by the Prophet for consumption. The top 10 global producers of onion contain three Middle Eastern countries: Egypt, Iran, and Turkey. Along the Gaza Strip in Palestine, farmers like Ayad al Attar use onions as a natural chemical to protect their crops from disease. They don't use chemicals because somehow the Israeli government has not provided them with the means to use traditional pesticides. This is something I got from an article excerpt about the traditional use of onions in Palestine. In the Middle East, lentil soup is known as sharbat adas, where sharbat and adas meaning soup and lentils. Lentil soup may be served in breakfast or as a side dish in lunch or dinner as a main course meal. It is considered a healthy food and is popular as a main course meal since it gives the feeling of fullness upon eating. It may be prepared from different types of whole or unwhole lentils, like green, brown, black, red, or yellow. However, sharbat adas prepared from unwhole lentils is thicker and smoother in consistency compared to that with whole. This lentil soup is considered to be the most basic in Middle Eastern cuisine because it's only prepared from lentils, broth, cumin, and spices. The cumin adds flavor and also aids in digestion of soups, as lentils frequently called flatulence due to the presence of certain chemicals. Once the onions are diced and you have about a cup of them, add them to your saucepan on medium heat with olive oil. I used a quarter cup of olive oil. You want to let the onions brown by sauteing them. Olive oil is an incredibly important aspect of Palestine's industry and is connected to the abundance of olive trees that have been native to that region for thousands of years. Palestinian olive oil is known around the world for its distinct flavor and taste. The olive tree is seen by many Palestinians as being a symbol of nationality and connection to the land, particularly due to their slow growth and longevity. The overall quality and taste of Palestinian olive oil is affected by many factors, including the type of the tree, the region and climate, carrying methods, handling methods, and the level of ripeness. The importance of olive oil to Palestinian culture has also become a symbol of resistance and resilience against Israeli forces. Once your onions have sauteed to a light brown color, we will add the cup of lentils. First, you need to wash your lentils, and it is recommended to soak them to get a richer flavor. The traditional lentil used for sharbat adas is a red lentil. I unfortunately could not find that, so I used a brown one instead. I am washing my own hands first and soaking the lentils for about 20 seconds in water. Lentils are also an important part of Palestinian and Middle Eastern cuisine. Lentil is one of the oldest domesticated annual cool season pulse crops. Based on archaeological findings, the first domestication of lentils occurred in Syria and Turkey, approximately 8,500 BC. They are considered to be one of the founding crops of agriculture. Like wheat and barley, lentils were produced in the Fertile Crescent, and a large portion of lentil production still occurs in this area. Although the production is not high in Palestine, lentils are still considered a common vegetable. This represents the trans-regional influence lentils have had on Middle Eastern cuisine. They are a staple of Middle Eastern cuisine and commonly used in soups, vegetables, or even just with bread. They provide many health benefits, including heart health, your digestive system, and being a good source of protein and iron. Once my lentils are washed, I will add them to the saute pan. You want to stir that for less than 10 seconds on medium heat. The next step will include our vegetable stock. The recipe calls for cubed vegetable stock, but I use liquid stock. I added about 3.5 cups of vegetable stock. The amount that you would like depends on the texture and consistency you are looking for. Once the vegetable stock is in the sauté, you want to stir that for about a minute or so and make sure to lower your heat in preparation for the simmer. The simmer will include you covering your soup on medium to low heat for about an hour. This will ensure that the stock is soaked up by the lentils. And making sure the heat is on medium. And then once the hour is complete, your lentils should have soaked up a lot of the liquid and look nourished. The next step is optional, but I blended the mixture together to get a more creamy consistency. I used the Ninja blender to do so. Once the soup is blended, I placed it back into the saucepan to heat on low. This is when I will begin to season the soup. The first seasoning is a half squeezed lemon. Lemon is a commonly used ingredient in sweet and savory dishes among Middle Eastern cuisine. A large amount of different spices as well as lemons are used in flavoring Middle Eastern cooking. In Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisines, the lemon is known for its ability to add a tangy brightness to dishes, but it also carries some symbolic weight. Its sourness is often associated with the concept of balance and harmony, as it complements and enhances the flavors of other ingredients. Next, the recipe calls for this seasoning the soup with 1 teaspoon turmeric and 1 tablespoon cumin. Turmeric is thought to have originated in India, the largest producer and consumer of this spice in the world. Although its origins are Indian, it is widely used in the Middle East, famous for its taste and health benefits. Turmeric is perhaps best known as a major ingredient of curries and also known for its use as a dye and for applications in cosmetic and pharmaceutical industries. The cumin plant is native to the Mediterranean region in Egypt, and is cultivated along the western Mediterranean through the Middle East and India. Cumin is also a spice that has considerable health benefits, including aiding with rheumatoid arthritis, wound healing, ulcerative colitis, liver disease, diabetes, certain infections, and insulin resistance. Consumption of curcumin appears to be safe and also can aid with decreasing obesity, helping with metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and various cancers. I'm making sure to mix in the turmeric and the cumin to make sure it enhances all the flavor of the lentils. And then lastly, I will be adding parsley as a garnish. Parsley has a deep history among many cultures and has spread its influence to the Middle East, being a very common garnish and ingredient among many dishes. Parsley originated in the Eastern Mediterranean but became popular throughout Europe in the Middle Ages, when it was commonly grown in monasteries and royal gardens. It is used in many Middle Eastern dishes, like my personal favorite, tabbouleh. After the parsley garnish, your dish is complete. I added a bit of olive oil and pepper and enjoyed greatly. Thank you for listening to my presentation and creation of the Palestinian lentil soup, Shorbat Adas.